These are all the things that you're going to need to be doing in the first week of March to get your garden ready. So we're downstairs in the basement, and I have some of my seed starting stuff here. I have one of the racks with the lights, I have seeds, and I have some other things down here. So we're going to go through all the things that you should be doing in the first week of March to get ready for garden season. So you need something to hold them in, lights, warmth, and water. So if you're starting seeds inside, one of the things that you're going to want to get is some kind of setup for your seedlings. So I have this rack here. I just got it from Amazon. It's super cheap, but it did come with these lights. I do have some bigger racks in the other room and other lights as well, but we're gonna just start with this one, and then as we start more seedlings, I'll get the bigger ones out. Next thing you're gonna need is some kind of something to hold your seeds in. These were a gift. I'm gonna try these out. I haven't tried them yet this year. I also have pots, but these will be for when we start up potting our stuff. I saved these strawberry containers so we can put some soil and seeds in here. And I do have really big black trays. They are just big black plastic trays, and I actually make soil blocks and I put them in there. And then once those seedlings are established, then I will up pot them into pots like these. So that's not what we're doing right now. Right now we're getting ready. In order to get ready for your garden, what you're going to need to do is have a plan. You need a space to put your stuff, and you need to map out what you're going to do and when. The thing about gardening is everything is time sensitive. Some plants you start 6 weeks before, some you start 8 weeks, some 10 weeks before the last frost date, some you just sow right in the ground. In here I have a whole bunch of seeds. This is how I keep my seeds organized, and I keep them organized by category and then warm weather and cool weather. So let's go through these and I'll kind of give you a few examples. So in our seed organizer, it comes and it has individual little cells here. This is actually a photo container I got on Amazon, but it works to separate all the different seed types. So first thing what I'm gonna do is see what I need to start inside and what I need to just sow directly outside. Tomatoes, we start inside. Melons, we sow outside. Okra, outside. Cucumbers can be both. They are very temperamental, so I like to start those outside. I have a long enough growing season that I can start those outside. Carrots, they are a direct sow because they are also very sensitive, but they're cool weather, so I'm gonna get them out just to get them ready. Squash, this will be direct sow, and I'm not gonna grow any eggplant this year. Sometimes I grow eggplant for the chickens, but I have a different plan this year, so I'm not gonna do that this year. We have all of our peppers. We will start those inside. Swiss chard and lettuces, those are direct sow, but they're also cool weather, so I will leave those out. More lettuce. My cauliflower has cabbage, Brussels sprouts, and broccoli in her also. So that's kind of all of the brassicas in there. These are just onions. We'll leave these out. These are radishes, all different kinds. I don't plan on growing that many radishes, but we'll keep those out. And then the rest of these are flowers. And I believe some of these flowers I start inside and some direct sow. We'll just kind of read the packages and see what they say. So now that we've split our seeds into the ones we're going to start inside and then the ones we're going to direct sow, we are going to move on and we're going to set up a timeline. So what we're going to be looking for are things that take different amount of weeks. So 10 weeks, 8 weeks, 6 weeks, until we can transfer them out into the garden. So that means you start them 6, 8, or 10 weeks before the last frost. So I do not live in Oklahoma, I live in Nebraska. And so our last frost date this year for 2026 is supposed to be April 29th. That's according to the Old Farmer's Almanac. Now, my grandma always taught me to be weary of the Three Kings frost, which means that there can be a late spring frost until May 13th. So I kind of shoot to plant out our seedlings sometime in between April 29th, which is the last frost date, and May 13th, because there have and could be frost up until that point. May 13th. Did I say May 13th? May 13th. Anyways, between April 29th and May 13th. Another thing that I have personally noticed is my tomatoes grow really fast and my peppers grow really fast. So if a tomato pack gives a range of start 8 to 10 weeks before your last frost or 10 to 12, I lean on the shorter side, so that if it's 8 to 10, I do 8 weeks before my last frost because they grow really fast. And I've actually had seedlings here grown all the way up to the top of the light and get burnt off. because these lights can only get lifted so high and they need light to grow, and I can't transfer them out to the garden if it's cold. So that's something it's just trial and error, and you kind of learn. You can always prune them back a little bit. I don't like to do that when they're that little. I like to wait till they get out in the ground and get established before I prune them. But anyways, things you learn. So now let's look at our seeds, and we will kind of set up our calendar on what we're gonna plant when, and we will break out all the dates and do all the math. So yeah, let's do that. We're gonna have a little visitor now while we sort out our seeds, but something I do wanna mention real quick is if you have not ordered your seeds by the first week of March, you're gonna wanna do that. Now, some companies sell out super fast, and it's difficult to order them, and then the shipping time can vary. But all of your local stores should have all the different seeds that are good for your area, so the varieties that are good for your area that grow well there, they should have all of those. So if you miss a deadline or miss an order, don't worry, it's fine. You just might not get all the super crazy different kind of varieties that you're looking for. But I would order seeds, do some research, kind of write down which ones you want to try, and then order them November, December, January when they start coming out, becoming available for sale. And then by the time you start your early planting and early planting, you already have them. I do have a bunch of seeds saved from previous years, so I'm just gonna use those. Anyways, let's start getting our plan together. So according to the Farmer's Almanac, it is 8 weeks and 4 days until my last frost date. Now, according to my grandma in the Three Kings Frost, it is 10 weeks and 4 days until the last frost date. So we're gonna just kind of go somewhere in between there. Real quick, I'm just gonna go through these and pick out some ones I want to do and put them into piles. So we like butter crunch lettuce, tennis ball lettuce. This is a salad mix. Little gem. I don't have any spinach in here. I have kale. Put the kale out here. I must have used all my spinach, so I might get some of that from the store. Swiss chard I just grow for the chickens. That one's open, so we'll do some Swiss chard. Oh, there's my spinach. And spinach. Carrots, I will probably sow a whole bunch of these carrots. I like the Danver half-longs. I think they're called Danver 126 now. Those are probably my favorite. Yeah, Danver 126 are my favorite. Littlefinger I like a lot. And these scarlet carrots are good also. I am getting a lot of these seed packets from Botanical Interests online. However, a lot of these are also just from my local store. Tomatoes I will save and go through last. Green onions, I'll probably grow a whole bunch of those. Okay, cauliflower. This is the snowball cauliflower, so I'm gonna do that one. I'm also gonna do snowball Y. Cabbage, early golden acre, I like that one a lot. Brussels sprouts, these are Long Island ones. I had really good luck with the plants, but not with the actual fruit or the Brussels sprout of it, but I'm gonna try those again this year. Early snowball cauliflower I'm gonna do. I haven't actually gotten any cauliflower to head in the last couple years that I've been gardening, but I try it every single year because I love cauliflower. Broccoli, this Waltham 29 I'm gonna do. I have a bunch of this broccoli rabe in the freezer, so I'm not gonna do that. And then this is just more Waltham 29. Radishes. We don't eat a whole lot of radishes. I like these French breakfast radishes. Peppers, I have a whole bunch of peppers in my freezer still. My peppers went crazy last year, so I don't think I'm gonna grow any peppers. Peppers that I have grown in the past are California Wonder, Serrano, this big Thai pepper, Cubanelles, Jimmy Nardellos, Shishito, Lemon Drop, this, I don't know how to say this, Joki, Cayenne pepper, Carnival bell pepper, California Wonder, and more California Wonder. These all did crazy good last year, so I have a bunch of them in the freezer and freeze dried, so we are not going to do any of those this year. And then herbs, I have a whole bunch of cilantro. We don't really eat a lot of cilantro, so I'm going to skip that. I have a bunch of fennel, a bunch of borage. I'm going to do dill. it. I'm gonna do lavender. Flowers, I'm probably gonna do most, if not all, of these flowers. I have marigolds, zinnias, lots of zinnias. They are my favorite flower. I have all sorts of different colors. My Gardener is the other place I love to get my seeds from. I have really good luck with their seeds. So bachelor buttons, more marigolds, more marigolds, more marigolds, zinnias, and then this rainbow blend was a free flower that got sent to me. Okay, real quick, let's talk tomatoes. Tomatoes are the base of so many different things. You can have just whole tomatoes, crushed tomatoes, tomato sauce, tomato juice, pizza sauce, ketchup, barbecue sauce, tikka masala, chili, a whole bunch of other things. So, and eating them fresh, salsa, all the things. So, spaghetti sauce, I just keep thinking of them. So we are gonna grow a lot of tomatoes. I actually don't like tomatoes raw at all. They really gross me out, but I do love all the sauces and making everything with them. And my husband really likes eating them fresh. Plus we have a lot of friends and family that we give them away to. So anyways, we're growing a bunch of tomatoes. Before I start, I am going to do 3 different groupings of tomatoes. And basically I'm going to have more beefsteaky, big slicer tomatoes. Ones that are good for fresh eating. I'm gonna have paste tomatoes that are good for sauces, and then I'm going to have cherry tomatoes that are good for just like salads and eating snacks and everything like that. Amish paste tomatoes, they are one of the best paste tomato, and they are huge. This says up to an 8-ounce fruit, and that is really big for a paste tomato. Mushroom baskets give us a very, very big tomato. Banana legs, they are yellow. They are a low acidity and meaty texture. Striped Roma. Roma is a very traditional paste tomato. Tomatillos to make salsa verde with or enchilada sauce. Manitoba are a cute little slicing tomato, perfect like lunchbox size. Giant Crimson is another one that is a slicer. Brandywine Pink, these are definitely a very meaty flesh. You can see there's not very many seeds in there. Early Girl, we like these ones because they give us fruit really early in the season, hence the name Early Girl. And so Napoli, they give us a very nice paste tomato. Federale, now these ones are decently big, let's see, 7-inch long tomatoes. They are a good paste tomato. However, what I found for me is that these ones do not typically fully ripen before they go bad or the bugs get into them. I have had where the top like inch is green when I'm picking them, just to prevent them from getting rotten. That is kind of a downside. And then if I pick them early and let them ripen in the house, then the bottoms are soft. I did end up just like cutting the tops off of a lot of them, but the chickens love the tops. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna grow them just because of how much I feel like I wasted. San Marzano tomatoes, Roma, Alpolka. These are yellow pear cherry tomatoes. We are not gonna do those ones. I'm not gonna do Better Boy. This is a black creme tomato. It's like a dark purple black one. My husband doesn't really like the taste of purple tomatoes. And Dr. Witchy, which gives a very, very big yellow slicing tomatoes. Now, something I do have to get are Sun Gold cherry tomatoes. Those are orange cherry tomatoes. My husband absolutely loves them. We give them to a few friends and some old people that we work with, and they absolutely love them. So I need to buy more of those. Okay, so I have more seeds in this box, so let's go ahead and go through these. These are some seeds that I ordered at the end of last gardening season, mainly beans. There's some popcorn in here too. So I have light red kidney beans, midnight black turtle beans, Japanese holeless corn. This is good for popcorn, peaches and cream sweet corn, and double sweet corn. I thought I had some white navy beans in here, but I guess not. Next is an absolutely huge bag of jade bush beans. These are green beans. They are very tasty, so we're going to be growing a bunch of these. And all these beans and corn are seeds that you sow or plant directly into the ground, so we are not going to be starting those today. Orange Glow watermelon seeds, one of our absolute favorite watermelons. Cantaloupe, here's a whole bunch of different pumpkin seeds. These you do sow in the ground, but it is a big variety of a whole bunch of different ones. So when we plant the pumpkins, I will let you know what they are. That was a really quick and kind of hectic run through of what I'm gonna be growing, what I'm not gonna be growing, and direct sow and starting inside. So now I'm gonna clean up this mess and separate the seeds into the ones that we are just gonna be starting inside, and then I will bring you right back. Okay, so the planting phase is almost done. You have where you're gonna plant them, you have what you're gonna plant them in, and you have your seeds. You picked out your varieties, you did all the fun stuff of trying new things and getting all different colors and types and varieties of food. Now, the important part. You are going to take a notebook and you are going to write down when you are going to start what. This will help you because every single day and every single week of the year goes by super fast. So you are going to take this and you are going to write down your last frost date here at the top. And you are going to put 12 weeks from that date. And then you're going to put 10 weeks from that date. Then you're going to put 8 weeks from that date. Then you're going to put 6 weeks from that date. Then you're going to take all the seeds and all the varieties that you picked out that you want to grow this year, and you are going to read the back of them. They will all tell you how many weeks from your last frost date to start. For example, I have this cabbage here, and on the back it says start seeds indoors 6 to 8 weeks before the last frost date, or after danger of frost you can sow outside. This is an example of a type of seed that you can start both indoors and outdoors. You will learn with your climate what works best for you. You will learn if your cool weather crops need to be started inside because you get hot too fast, or maybe you have a nice long spring that's nice and chilly for a while and that you can directly sow them outside. The problem with the cool weather stuff is if it gets hot too fast, they will bolt before they will fruit. So you will kind of learn that. I live in Nebraska. I start all of my stuff inside. If I have the option to, the only things that I really don't are melons and cucumbers and squash. I start most of the stuff inside that I can, and then I'm just really careful when I transplant them. Anyways, so this says 6 to 8 weeks from your last frost date. If you go off of the Farmer's Almanac, right now in my area, it is 8 weeks and 4 days until the last frost. However, I'm going anywhere between 8 to 10 weeks. So this says 6 to 8 weeks here on the back. So if I'm thinking it's 8 to 10 weeks till my last frost and this is 6 to 8 weeks, you would think, okay, 8 and 8, I can plant it right now. That is true. I could plant them right now, or I could plant them next week. Sometimes you can have a range of where I need to start it from this day, March 1st until March 7th. That gives me a whole week of time. So just kind of organize them, group them in that. It doesn't need to be super specific or down to the day, but I would always lean on the side of you want to plant them out after the last frost date, not before, definitely, because the weather is crazy and you can always have a late frost. Another thing is while you are doing your seeds, you do not want to fertilize them too early. Fertilizer is meant to make them grow. So no matter what you use, I would fertilize them the last week that they are going to be inside. You do not want to fertilize them too soon before that because they are going to shoot up and run out of room. Now we have our categories between 6 weeks and 12 weeks until the last frost, and we are just going to group our seeds and write them down in our notebook. Now I have all of my seeds categorized on my notebook. I know what I'm gonna plant when, and now I'm just gonna wait and get ready for the fun stuff. So things that I need to do now are go to the store, get last minute seeds of varieties that I wanna try, and I need to get some soil to start them in. Also, there's gonna be things that are popping up in your store like potato starts and onion sets and maybe pre-started potted plants. You can always grab those. Just make sure you calculate with your last frost date because they can be outside at the store, but then once you bring them home, sometimes they just get too shocked and they don't grow. So I would always wait on those ones at the store. If they have them pre-potted for you, wait to buy them until after the last frost date so that you are certain you can put them in the ground. Okay, so we are at the store and we are gonna get some garden soil and potting mix to start our seeds. Gonna do a mix of both to help with the drainage. Okay, now we're gonna go look at seeds. These ones are so pretty. we could add to our peonies in the front. Oh my gosh, look at this one.
Ranunculus.
I think I'm gonna get more carrots too. Try these ones. Gonna get more of these yellow wax beans. I wanna try more carrots. Let's see. Tender sweet lemon cucumber. That one's kind of neat. This Jubilee tomato. Yeah, I didn't see any sun gold, so you want to try the honeycomb ones? And loofahs. I have not been able to get those online at all. Grab a couple of those ones. And the half-long carrots. I've tried the full-size one of those, not the half. Maybe the short and sweets too. These are both different kinds of Brussels sprouts and broccoli than we've tried. So I want to try both of those. One of each is fine. Okay, so these are all the seeds we got from the store. I've not tried this Sun King broccoli before. I'm still looking for a good broccoli, so I'm gonna try that one. I think they're called Long Island Brussels sprouts. I haven't had good luck with either, so this Catskill one we'll try. And I already told you that we couldn't find the Sun Gold, so these look pretty close to the Sun Gold. These honeycomb cherry tomatoes. Jubilee, I like trying the yellow and orange ones, and so this is a bigger slicer. Right now we only have the Dr. Witchy's, that's a yellow slicer. Got a bunch of different carrots, and I want to make my own sponges and just scrubbers with these. And I did decide to get some early sun glow corn. I got this because it is a quick to pick. I think it's 63 days to harvest. And so I got that because you don't want your corn to cross-fertilize. And the other ones I think are between 70 and 80 days. All right, you guys, you have made your plan for your garden this year. It is the first week of March. You have all your supplies, or you're about ready to finish getting your supplies. You have all your seeds. You have your plan on when to plant everything. And now you're just gonna wait until the fun time of starting your seeds. Over the next few weeks, I'm gonna bring you along with these seeds as I'm starting them. I'll go more in depth about which varieties I'm starting and why. I know I give you a brief overview now, but I'm gonna read the descriptions, tell you what the websites say and all the experts say on why to pick that kind of variety. We'll go into detail about tricks that I've learned along the way, and hopefully we can grow our gardens together. If there are any varieties that you've tried that you love, drop them down below and let me know. I hope you learned something. I hope you will take some of this into account. If you like this and want to see what to do in the next couple weeks, go ahead and follow along for more. I will try to update you guys with all of my seed starting stuff and everything that I'm doing as I'm doing it, so that you guys can follow along with me and that we can grow our gardens together. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.